In this lecture, we are going to learn about and create custom validator in our Express application. Now, in the last lecture, we learned about the built-in validators provided by Mongoose. So we do have some built-in validators in order to validate the data before saving it in the database. But sometimes these built-in validators are not enough. And sometimes we might want to validate the data in a way for which the built-in validators will not work. And for that, we need to create our own custom validators. Now, behind the scenes, a validator is nothing but a function which returns a Boolean value true or false. So, if the data which we have received for a field, if it is a valid data, in that case, the validator function returns true. Otherwise, if the data which we have received for the field, if it is not a valid value, then in that case, that function returns false. So, using this same concept, we can create our own custom validators. So here I'm going to create a custom validator, let's say for the ratings field. So here for this ratings field, we are using a min and max value. But here instead of using min and max value, what I will do is I'll create my own custom validator to check if the ratings value is between 0 and 5 or not. If it is not between 0 and 5, in that case, we are going to throw a validation error. Now, to create our own custom validator, here we need to specify the validate field, and to this we need to assign a function. And here let's use validate, and to this let's assign a function. Here you can also use the arrow function syntax, and this function, it is going to receive the value which we are actually validating. So whatever value we are going to receive for this ratings field, that value will be passed to this function inside its first parameter. You can call this parameter anything. I'm simply calling it as value. And inside this function, you can use that parameter. So here we are going to check that the value should be greater than or equal to 0 and value should be less than or equal to 5. In that case, the value is a valid value. If it is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 5, in that case, it is a valid value. So in that case, this expression will return true. So that true we want to return from here. But if the value is less than 0, in that case, this expression will return false. Or if the value is greater than 5, in that case also, this expression will return false. That means in that case, the data which we have received for this ratings field, that is not a valid data. So in that case, the validation will fail. If I save the changes here, and if we go to Postman, and from there, let's try to create a new hotel document. And there, I'm going to specify the ratings as, let's say 9. And here, let me change the hotel name to Test Hotel 7. Or maybe this hotel was not created previously because that time also we had the validation error. So I'll try to create the same hotel document, but this time I'm setting the ratings as 9. If I send this request, we should get a validation error message. You see, we have a validation error message and it says the provided hotel type is not valid. So first of all, the type is not valid. Here I'm setting the type as test. Let's try to set it to hotel. So this was the first validation. And then we also have this error message, ratings validator failed for path rating with value 9. So this is the validation error message which we are receiving for this ratings field, because here we are passing an invalid data for the ratings field. So our custom validator is working as expected. Now, if you also want to specify a custom error message for this validation error, that also we can do. For that, what we will have to do is, let me cut this function from here, and to this validate now, we need to assign an object. In that object, we need to have a validator field, and this validator will be assigned with the validator function. Okay, and then we can also have a second property here, which is message. And here we can specify our own custom validation error message. So here I can say the ratings value. So what I can do is, let me use backticks here, and here let's say the ratings should have a value between 0 and 5, something like this. Okay, and here let's say the ratings field should have a value between 0 and 5. With this, if I save the changes, let's go back to Postman. And now if I send this request, now we should have our custom validation error message where it says the ratings field should have a value between 0 and 5. So this is how we can create our own custom validators using this validate property. Okay. And also inside this message property where we are specifying the error message, in here we will also have access to the value which the user has passed. So for example, I'm going to modify this error message and here I'll say current specified value is, okay, and then I want to show that value within parentheses, so I will use parentheses, and inside that we can use a set of curly braces, and inside that we can use value. So this expression here and value should all be in uppercase. So this expression here, it is going to return us the current value which has been passed for this ratings field. If I save the changes here and if we go back to Postman and if we try it, you will also see it says that the current specified value is 9, and that's what we are passing for the ratings. If I pass, let's say -5, in that case, here we should have -5. So inside this message, we have access to the past value using this value property. So you need to use it inside the curly braces, and this value should all be in uppercase. One another very important point which you need to understand here is that currently inside this validator function, we are not using this variable. So here I'm not saying this dot value, and here also this dot value. So when I'm not using this variable here, in that case, this validator will work when we are creating a new document. So before creating a new document, the validator is going to run for this ratings field and it is going to check the value. It will check if the ratings value is a valid value or not. And this will also work while updating. But in here, if I use this variable, if I say this dot value, in that case, it will only work for save, because in that case, this variable will point to the document which we are trying to save. As we learned in the last lecture, a validator is nothing but a pre-save hook. So we have learned that inside a pre-save hook, this variable will point to the document which we are trying to save. And here it should not be value, it should be ratings. Okay, because on the document we have ratings field. So in that case, this validator will work only for save, only when we are creating a new document. When we are updating an existing document with a new value for the ratings, at that time this validator will not work. So this is very important to understand here. Let's get back the changes. All right. So this is how we can create a custom validator using Mongoose. For that, for a field for which we want to create a custom validator, we use this validate property. To that, we assign an object. Inside that object, using this validator property, we create a validator function. And to specify a custom error message, we use this message property. So we learned about this validate property, and this is the option for defining custom validators, which can be a function, regular expression, or an array of validation objects. So a validator can not only be a function, it can also be a regular expression or an array of validation objects or functions. So here you can see an example of how to create a custom validator. Now, just like validate, we also have a get option. Now this get, to this we assign a function. Okay, it will be assigned with a function. And using this get option, we can define a custom getter that transforms the value after it is retrieved from the database and before it is returned to your application code. So for example, let's say in our database, we are saving the price of a product, and let's say we are saving it in cents. But when the data is retrieved and when we want to use it in our code, we want to use it in dollars. So here, before using the data which we have retrieved from the database, before using it, we want to transform it in some way. And for that, we can use this get option. So let's say this V here, it is going to give us the value from the database, the value of this price field from the database. And before we are going to use it, before that, we are transforming that value. So let's say the price is stored in cents, but when we want to use this price in our code, we want to use it in dollars. So before using it, using this get option, we are transforming the price in cents to dollars. And then in there, we are also using this to fixed to show only the two digits after the decimal. And whatever value will be returned by this expression, that value will be used for this price field in the code. So you might want to use this get option for some of your fields when you want to transform the data before using it in your code. All right, so this is all I wanted to cover in this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.